Hey, I want to do a quick video on the profit revenue problem, number 7 in the homework. It says profit of a company in dollars, the difference between the company's revenue and cost. The cost, C of X, and revenue, R of X, are functions. So we know a cost function and we know a revenue function. X represents the number of items produced. So all this is really relevant information. So the first question says, determine the maximum profit of the company. So profit, and I'll do it with a capital P. Capital P, if you take all the money you bring in, that's called revenue, and you subtract all the costs that went into manufacturing all those products, that would be what would you call the profit. You have your revenue minus your cost. All right, now we actually have functions here. So the revenue function is 790x minus x squared. That tells you how much money you're going to bring in if you sell X products. And then we're going to subtract 2200 plus 50x, and these are your costs. Now, it's very important that minus get distributed through that parentheses. It's a common mistake that students make. Okay, so right now what we have is our profit function, and let me rearrange it a little bit. So I'm going to put the negative x squared up front. That negative distributes, it hits the 2200 and the 50x, so you get negative 50x, you have a positive 790x, so overall you have a positive 740x for your middle term. And then your constant term is just the negative 2200. The 2200 is representing the fixed cost, and it doesn't matter how many products you introduce, you're not going to get that money back. The 740x is how much you gain per product that you sell, minus your variable cost. And the negative x squared is just an adjustment that kind of depends on you're losing products. There's lots of sources. Maybe as the costs go up, people are less interested in the product. So there's some as the price goes up, there's some issues there. Anyway, so we have a quadratic that's pointing down, and all we have to do is graph it on our calculator and find the vertex. So here we go. Let's type this in here. So we got negative x squared, we got 740x, and we have minus 2200. We need a good window on this. If you hit graph right now, you're not going to see anything at all. Well, we see a little line there. It's not really a good representation of what's going on. It's a little tricky to get a good window here, but keep in mind the X represents the number of products sold or created, and so you're not going to sell negative products. So we're going to change our window not to include negative numbers for our X. And again, we don't really know, is this company selling thousands of products or hundreds of products? It's a little unclear. So that's one reason we go to our vertex formula. So remember the vertex formula. The x coordinate of our vertex is negative b divided by 2a. This actually is important information at this juncture. So you get negative 740 divided by 2 times a minus 1. So it looks like our vertex is located at 740 divided by 2. Now 740 divided by 2, I wonder if it'll let me do it like that. It did. So it's 370. So 370 is the location of our vertex. So we should at least include 370, and let's go even. Let's just go all the way out to 740. We're going to do a zoom fit. If you haven't seen me do zoom fit, it's under the zoom menu. It's number 0 in the list, and you hit enter. So I've gone from 0 to 740. Here is our graph. Look at there. That's our vertex at the top there. I'm going to expand our window slightly because we're not seeing the top there. So see, the top is at 134,700. It's actually we're talking about profit. Actually, that is actually our answer to the maximum profit. But I'm going to expand the window a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. So our maximum profit is that peak right there. And if you hit trace and at 370, that is where that maximum profit occurs. So so the Y value is F or P at 370, and we just computed that, and it is 134,700. Isn't it funny how the Zoom Fit actually created that? So our maximum profit is 134,700. It says determine the number of items that must be produced and sold to obtain the maximum profit, and we actually have that already as well. The number of items that need to be produced and sold to make that profit is 370. Hey, thanks for